And welcome to the weekly checkup presented by Wellstar Health System. I'm Belinda Skelton. This week, we're joined by our friends at Virtual Imaging, and we have John Rockwell, patient advocate, joining us in the studio from Virtual Imaging. We hope you'll give us a call in the studio at 404-872-0750. And as always, the following information is presented for general knowledge and informational purposes and should not be considered or relied upon as medical advice. Listeners are encouraged to consult with a medical professional for advice, diagnosis, and treatment. So, John, thank you so much for spending this rainy afternoon on a Sunday afternoon with us in the studio here at 95.5 WSB.
You're welcome, Belinda, and I'm glad to be here.
Yes. And if people don't know what virtual imaging is all about, if they're new to the station, new to the city, why don't you lay the groundwork for us?
Okay, well, Virtual Imaging is a private company that allows you to get diagnostic procedures that you normally wouldn't be allowed to get through your insurance company or doctors. What we do is we do CT scanning on state-of-the-art technology that allows people to look at their entire body, if they wish, from the top of their head to right below their pelvis. Mm-hmm. And we scan for all types of things, which we'll get into as the show goes on, I'm sure.
Yes. And we always have a promotion.
Yes.
And this one is really good.
This is exciting. We're going to talk about it in the next segment, but I will say this. It's a Valentine's special for couples. We love Valentine's Day.
We held it over a day. I hope everyone had a great Valentine's Day.
I hope they did. And why not make it all the way through the weekend?
Yes, absolutely. So why don't we talk about it just a little bit so we can get those phones ringing?
Okay. Well, normally we always have the offer of where you can come in, call our number, and schedule a free coronary artery scan, which will give you a calcium score. And calcium, of course, we equate that with plaque built up in the arteries of your heart. And it will tell you, if you're in danger of having your arteries clogged or whatever the case may be. We also do all kinds of specialized scans, which I'll talk to more in another segment. But our two main ones are a core body scan, where we scan you from right below your neck to right below your pelvis. And then in the last 3 years, because of the technology that we have in the new scanners, we can actually scan you from your top of your head, so including your head, your brain, your sinuses, your neck area, all those things, all the way down to your pelvis. So we have the core body scan and the full body scan. And this special is going to involve core body scans for couples at a greatly reduced price.
I'm talking greatly reduced. So this is the core body. This is from the neck to the pelvis. Mm-hmm. First person, $995. Second person, $700. That totals. We'll do the math for you.
$1,695.
Right. So that if you walked in to Virtual Imaging tomorrow, say, and said, my loved one and I would like to do the core body scan, that would be $3,000.
That would be $1,500 each, or $3,000.
Yeah. So,
and it's a fantastic scan. If you went into a hospital and were able to get a scan,
well, you couldn't get it.
You can't get it because the insurance company won't approve it.
Right.
But and we scan for over 100 types of cancer. We scan your heart. We scan all your internal organs, your lungs. Lung cancer for a long time has been the number one cancer, but today it has been supplanted by colorectal cancer, colon cancer.
Wow.
And I think it's because of a lot of the foods that we eat and the chemicals that are in them. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion, but I don't know why we've seen such a rise in it, but it is a terrible thing.
I said to my husband after you were on the show a few weeks ago, I said, I don't care how bad our finances get. We will always have a membership at Virtual Imaging because I think that is so vitally important to our health.
It absolutely is. My wife and I signed up back in 2015. We came in for the coronary artery scan that was
Right.
offered free even back then. And they sat down. They went through some of the different programs that were available. We chose a 10-year program where we got scanned every other year, every 2 years. It literally saved my life. I'll tell that story in a little bit. My wife has had perfect scans up until December of 2025. And so a couple of snags have arisen. We're keeping an eye on them. We don't know what they are yet.
Okay.
But that's what this does. It gives you forewarning so that you can have these things checked out. The trouble is, as you well know, and you're probably going to tell the story about
Yeah.
your friend in just a little bit, but so many times heart disease and cancer strikes us right out of the blue. And there's no symptoms ahead of time to warn us. We don't know it's coming. There's several different types of cancer that are basically symptom-free until they get
Oh,
to
yeah.
stage 3 or stage 4.
Yeah.
And you know, we all have known people who have dropped dead from a heart attack. And it's just such a I had just this week, the people that live behind me, they were, I would say, you know, relatively older, retired couple. I think she's right around 70. He was a little bit older, and he had a heart attack and died. And we're just, it makes you sad because these things can be prevented with prior knowledge.
Well, I'll tell my story now, and then I'll repeat it a little later in the show for those that are tuning in and out. Friday a week ago, I get a call that one of my dearly best friends' husband has suddenly passed away of a massive heart attack. He's 54. 54
That's young.
years old.
Oh,
No symptoms whatsoever did this man have. He's the primary bread earner in this family. You have never seen a love story like these two had. It is crushing for this entire family.
and didn't you tell me it was a widowmaker?
It was the Widowmaker. Absolutely. It was the Widowmaker. It
That's
was
the left artery.
It was sudden. He passed before the EMTs could get there. And I've been over to her house a few times, and she's virtually non-functioning. And who can blame her? Her life, as she knew it, is over because of the death of her husband.
Well, I'm very
And
sorry for her.
I'm carrying a lot of guilt because I feel like I talk about virtual imaging all the time. I mean, couldn't I have opened my mouth at some point and said something? At some occasion, something?
You've been doing this show for how long with us?
Oh, 14 years or something. I mean,
think it's 15 years.
I don't know. How could, I mean,
Oh,
you know,
gosh.
I'm just, it's just this weight, and it's guilt, it's sadness, it's sorrow, it's grief. It's something that didn't need to happen. And I know that we have listeners out there that are walking around in the same situation as my friend's husband.
That's similar to what happened to Royal, who was your
Yes. Oh, gosh.
who worked on the show with you.
Yes,
back.
one of my
That's how we
absolute
originally
best friends.
got together with
With
WSB
yes.
and virtual imaging.
That's how this all got started. And folks, you don't know what is going on. And Royal had no symptoms. And you don't know what's going on the inside. And I beg of you, I absolutely, on my hands and knees with my hands in the prayer position, beg of you to please call this number, 770-678-SCAN, and sign up for these promotions that we give out when we do these shows. The core body scan is a tremendous value.
It really is, and because we offer the free coronary artery scan, but that's not a complete heart scan. when you get the core body scan, you do get the complete heart scan, which includes the lining of the heart, the valves, aortic aneurysms, all kinds of things that we would normally only do in a core body or a full body scan. So this is such a great promotion. I hope everyone will take advantage of it. You can't give a better gift to a loved one for Valentine's Day than this scan. It could possibly save their lives.
It definitely possibly could save their life, and that of your loved one, your family members. I mean, I know you're thinking, Belinda, that is $995. And I've got bills. But if you don't have your health, you have absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time. I say, I'd rather be poor and healthy than rich and sick.
Absolutely.
You can't take that money with you.
No.
And this is an investment in your health, and it is a lot of money. There's no question about that, to some more than others, but it's an investment in your long-term health.
Absolutely. We're going to have to take a break. And we're going to talk more about this and what virtual imaging has to offer you. We're speaking with John Rockwell, patient advocate at Virtual Imaging. That number to call if you want to take us up on that offer is 770-678-SCAN. 770-678-SCAN. You're listening to the Weekly Checkup only on 95.5 WSB. And that was Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler, our song of the week. Send us the songs that you'd like to hear, and we'll start playing them next week. We're back on the Weekly Checkup, presented by Wellstar Health System. I'm Belinda Skelton, and our show is produced by Lens, Atlanta's healthcare marketing experts. This week, we're joined by our friends at Virtual Imaging, and we have John Rockwell. He's a patient advocate at Virtual Imaging. He's in the studio with me today, and we're taking your calls if you have questions about how the scanner works, if you're a candidate for it. You can ask those questions of John at 404-872-0750. So, John, we've got just a few minutes before the next break, but since we've been talking about the heart and my friend and the recent heart attack, you need a baseline scan. And that's your first scan.
That's right. And I want to explain how this scanner works, because sometimes people have had MRIs, we're in this long tube and it's kind of claustrophobic and they can't get out. This is an open scanner, so it's like a big donut. Mm-hmm. There's no feelings of claustrophobia or anything. The scan, no matter which scan you get, lasts less than 10 minutes. The coronary artery scan is less than 5 minutes. It takes longer to get you on and off the table than it does to do the actual scan itself.
Right.
Yes, in a body scan or a core scan, core body scan or a full body scan, the first scan you get is the baseline. It establishes where you are at that point in your life. And because we have so much artificial intelligence into this technology today, it actually overlays subsequent scans over the initial baseline scan and looks for changes. So if you get a scan today and then a year later or 2 years later you get a second scan, it's going to compare the two images. And a regular core body scan will take close to 400 images, and a full body scan where the head and brain is included, over 500 images.
Wow.
And again, it takes less than 10 minutes. It's completely painless.
Yeah.
We give you some cool earphones so you can listen to some music if you like. And if you can hold your breath for 10 seconds.
Which is tough for me.
Yeah, you can do the scan. So Yeah, I just want to assure people it's a very simple, easy procedure.
yes.
I ask people all the time, how'd it go? It's the easiest thing I've ever done.
Oh, yeah. I've told you before, I've had rougher manicure and pedicures than this scan.
Right.
And that's supposed to be relaxing.
That's right.
All right. So it is something you can do in your lunch hour. You can pop over there just for, what takes about to complete a full thing, an hour?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we about 45 minutes to an hour. When you come in, there's a questionnaire that we ask you to fill out. It takes about 5 minutes to fill that out. Very simple, easy, yes or no questions, those type of things. And then we sit you down and go through the scan itself to prepare you for what's going to happen. We go over some of the options in the scans. We have a lot of specialty scans that we do. I'll talk more about that in the next session. And then we put you on the scanner. And it's very simple. You just can't wear a necklace around your neck. And we have some cool paper pants that you put on. And you just lay down on the scanner. It takes you through the machine. It's so quick and easy. Again, the biggest thing I want to come back to is we save lives every single day.
Absolutely. And I want you to call for that promotion that we're doing today, 770-678-SCAN, 770-678-SCAN. You're listening to the Weekly Checkup only on 95.5 WSB. And welcome back to the Weekly Checkup. I'm Belinda Skelton. Our show is presented by Wellstar Health System and sponsored by All Care. Family care plus immediate care equals all care. Now open in Brazelton. The Georgia Trauma Foundation. Investing in trauma care to save lives. Olansky Dermatology and Aesthetics. Offering the highest quality in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. Avant Gynecology, Atlanta's GYN and surgical specialist. Virtual imaging, core body scan for screening cancer and cardiovascular disease. I'm Belinda Skelton, and this week we're joined by our friends at Virtual Imaging, and we have John Rockwell. He is a patient advocate at Virtual Imaging and is joining me in the studio this afternoon. And we're taking your calls at 404-872-0750. If you'd like to know how the scan actually works, if you're a candidate, if you've done it before and want to know how often you need to do it, give us a call, 404-872-0750. So, John, let's go back over this promotional scan that you're offering and what the core body scan scans for and how much it is and what a value it is for our listeners.
Okay, well, this is the heart of our program. This is what we've been doing since 2010. It's only recently that we've been able to do the head and the brain because of the advanced capability of the scanner that we use. So a core body scan is from the bottom of the neck to right below your pelvis. It looks at the entire heart, not just the 5 main arteries, which we would do in a coronary artery report. And of course, it also looks at all the internal organs, kidneys, lungs, different, everything that you have in the core body, all the way down into below the pelvis. It'll look at your intestinal tract. It'll look for kidney stones, gallstones, all kinds of things like that. We can see cancer as small as an enlarged period on a piece of paper.
That is amazing.
About 2 centimeters in diameter. Now, we don't always know it's cancer when it's that small.
Right.
But we know something's there that's
you know
not
to start watching it.
That's exactly right. We always have our free coronary artery scan, and listen, if you just want to go ahead and call in and sign up for that, that's fine. We will tell you about the other scans that are available to you. We'll talk to you about different membership programs that are available to you. But a lot of people come in just to get that scan itself, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And people always ask me, why do you offer a free coronary artery scan? And the real reason is, Belinda, is because if you're like the majority of our clients, we know you're going to come back.
Right.
Because you're going to see that report. You're going to see how detailed it is.
And you're going to want more.
You're going to want more information on the rest of your body. Yeah,
yes.
You are. And, especially if you have any genetic risks or any physical risks that you know about, you might have had incidences in the past. We have people that come in and say, we ask them, well, what made you come in today? Well, my father or my brother or my cousin or my uncle or my aunt or whatever, my grandparents.
Right.
They had this occur to them and they had that and da-da-da-da-da. Could be a neighbor, a friend, just like you just had.
Yeah.
One of the good things, if there was a good thing about Royals passing back in the day, is it brought virtual imaging and WSB together.
Yes.
Because
that's the silver lining.
Mr. Bortz called the head of our company, Dan, and he said, I want to make sure that doesn't happen to anyone else.
Yeah.
And we decided we would scan everybody at WSB, which is when you started getting your scans.
Mm-hmm.
And many of those people that worked there, worked here, became members of one of our programs and signed up to get scanned on a regular basis. So the special is we will do a complete core body scan for a couple. The first one is $995. The second one is just $700, which is a total of just $1,695.
For a couple.
That's for the couple, both together, for the complete core body reports. And we do have financing available if anyone would like to avail themselves of that. And you get the report within 4 to 5 days. It goes to radiologist out in California, Dr. Atlas. If there is a problem on the coronary artery part of the scan, we will let you know within 24 to 48 hours and advise you to see a cardiologist as soon as possible. The key thing about this, Belinda, is you own these scans. You can then take the information for these scans to your doctor, your general practitioner, your intern. He may refer you to specialists depending upon what the report says. But you have all the information. I warn you right now, the doctors don't want to see the images, though we will give them to you.
Oh, my doctor loves them.
Oh, does he?
He loves to get that CD.
My cardiologist didn't want to see the images. He said, I just want to see the report.
Okay. No, my doctor, the more information, he loves it because he said it gives him a complete picture of what's going on with me.
And it really does. And again, we're going to take somewhere on a core body scan, we're going to take around 400 images. The cool thing about it is artificial intelligence will eliminate the great majority of those images, only sending the ones that have something that AI has determined is odd or unusual to the radiologists, and they will look over those remaining images and see exactly what they think. And you get a detailed report in your email within 4 to 5 days after the scan.
So in my last scan, John, it noted that I had kidney stones. And I was like, oh, okay. And so not bad, but not great. But, it could be a lot worse than to have kidney stones on both sides. But it's going to be helpful if something happens. I start to pass a kidney stone. I can go to a facility, a hospital, and say, hey, this pain is from probably a kidney stone. You don't have to run this battery of tests trying to figure out what's going on and waste time and money.
Absolutely. And I've never had one, but I've talked to people that had. I had a lady tell me it's worth in childbirth.
That's what I hear. I'm hoping I don't figure that out.
And they do have some lasers now where they can blast apart the stones. I'm not a medical person. I don't have no medical training whatsoever, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But I do know that once you know something, forewarned is forearmed, and
Oh, yeah.
that's what we're all about.
Knowledge is power.
Exactly, especially when it comes to your health. You know what's going on in your body. If you experience some kind of pain, you can tell them. You go into the hospital and you say, "Hey, this report says I had kidney stones." That's the first thing they're going to look at.
Oh, absolutely.
So they're not going to waste a lot of time looking for other things.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to know. I mean, eventually they may. I don't know. But they'll know at least they have a place to start.
Absolutely. And I know you're thinking, Belinda, the core body scan for one is $9.95. That's $9.95. That's almost a rental payment on my apartment or half a mortgage payment. But listen, folks, if you don't have your health and something comes up, it's a heck of a lot more expensive than that. And you would have down the road wished that you had done that so you could have had more options to have treated this or been able to fight this better. And I mean,
Belinda, let me just say, like as I mentioned earlier, we do have some financing available
yes.
to Care Credit. And for something like that, your payments would be less than $100 a month.
Oh, that's tremendous. That's tremendous. But, you know, you're saving money and your health is everything. It's worth everything that you have. If you don't have your health, like I said it earlier, you have nothing. You know, look at Steve Jobs.
Yeah, that's a sad story, and you know, the thing about Steve Jobs is what a lot of people don't know is he did have a scan like this, and they saw that he had cancer in his pancreas. At the time of the scan, it was very small, and it happened to be one of the most curable cancers. There's about 5% of pancreatic cancers that are very slow growing. He could have had surgery, maybe some follow-up radiation or chemo, however they were going to treat it. But his chances of survival were about 95%. He refused the surgery. He later said, "I didn't want to have my body penetrated." He didn't want to have, you know. So he tried some alternative homeopathic treatments. Unfortunately, it didn't work. His friends, his wife, kept urging him, "Please go back to the doctor." 9 months later, he did have the surgery, and it was the horse was already out of the barn. It was too late. And that's the trouble. You know, just about every cancer, if you can find it early, your chances of survival are greatly enhanced, and the amount of medical treatment you're going to require is greatly reduced. I had my first wife pass from breast cancer. She fought it for almost 2 years. It's horrific. If you've ever watched anybody go through something like that, with the surgery, the continued chemotherapy treatments, the radiation, when it metastasizes, it goes into the brain. They do radiation. She had burn marks on the side of her face. I mean, she went from a beautiful 125-pound woman to less than 80 pounds
So sorry.
over those 2 years. It's horrible. And you wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy. And that's what we want to prevent. So we save lives every day. Please take the time to come in, at least get the coronary artery scan, and we'll tell you about everything that we do.
And they will find everything that is going on in your body at that moment.
Exactly right.
And you can deal with it how you see fit.
That's right.
And that number to call is 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. You're listening to the Weekly Checkup only on 95.5 WSB. And welcome to the Weekly Checkup. I'm Belinda Skelton. Our show is presented by WellStar Health System. At WellStar, the patient is at the center of everything they do. WellStar is nationally ranked and locally recognized for its high-quality care. inclusive culture, exceptional doctors and caregivers, and one of the largest and most integrated healthcare systems in Georgia. Thank you for tuning in, folks. This week, we're joined by our friends at Virtual Imaging, and John Rockwell has graciously donated his time. He's a patient advocate at Virtual Imaging to answer your questions. And you can call us in the studio at 404-872-0750. If you have a question about Virtual Imaging, how the scanner works, if you're a candidate for it, how often you should scan, things like that, we'd love to talk to you at 404-872-0750. Okay, we're going to sweeten the pot a little bit on the promo here. So let's talk about the heart and lung, because that's really where Virtual Imaging started.
Yes, it is. And it's kind of, lung cancer has always been the number one cancer in America. And it actually, at one point, killed more people than almost all the other cancers put together.
And so I would think, John, that since smoking has decreased so much, that would go down.
You would, but, drive around in Atlanta one time during rush hour and smell that air and breathe that air. We just had a lady write us a letter, and she had never smoked, never been around smokers, never had smokers living in the house with her. She was one of our members, had a membership from 2012 to 2022. She didn't decide to continue her membership because at that point her children were grown, and she thought it was okay.
Right.
In 24, we had a special that I'm about to announce in just a minute, where you could get a heart and lung for $60.
Oh, my gosh.
A heart and lung. And for Valentine's Day weekend only, you have to call today. You can go ahead and bring your loved one, your sweetheart, in, and they're included in that same price.
Are you kidding?
So both people will get heart and lung scan for just $60.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a fantastic
Okay, let
promotion.
me see if I got this right and that I'm understanding it right, and you're saying it right.
Okay.
Heart and lung for you and your loved one for $60 total?
That's right. If you call today. It's a Valentine's weekend special. And, we care about our public here in Atlanta. We've got thousands and thousands of customers. And this lady, she was a member from 2012 to 2022, had nothing go wrong. In 24, she heard we had this promo back in 24 with the heart and lungs. She decided, well, for $60, I might as well go ahead and do that. And we found lung cancer. They were able to take it out, remove it, some follow-up radiation, and she has a great prognosis. This is a fantastic deal.
Oh, my gosh, it's unreal.
Yeah. And
I need a bell.
Everybody should call in right now.
Yes.
What a Valentine's Day gift that would be.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. You're listening to the Weekly Checkup only on 95.5 WSB. And welcome to the Weekly Checkup presented by Wellstar Health System. I'm Belinda Skelton. This week, we're joined by our friends at Virtual Imaging. And in the studio, I have John Rockwell. He is a patient advocate at Virtual Imaging. And he just gave us a promotion of all promotions that we're going to talk about in just a minute. We hope you'll give us a call here in the studio if you have questions about Virtual Imaging or how their scanner works. If you're a candidate, maybe you've gone through a few too many fast food restaurants, or genetics are not on your side, and you wonder if maybe this is something that you need to do. And how it works. We'd love to answer those questions for you at 404-872-0750. And as always, the following information is presented for general knowledge and informational purposes and should not be considered or relied upon as medical advice. Listeners are encouraged to consult with a medical professional for advice, diagnosis, and treatment. So, John, I don't think as long as I can remember, we've had such a phenomenal promotional.
Well, this is on Valentine's weekend. This is a sweetheart of a deal.
This is a sweetheart of a deal. I think Larry has lost his mind.
So let me just repeat it to make sure everybody is aware. This weekend only, today only, we are offering for you to call in and get a heart and lung scan, both heart and complete lung scan, for $60. And you can include your sweetheart at no additional cost.
Wow.
So, wives, talk to your husbands about this.
Husbands, talk to your wives, which
exactly.
it never goes that way.
Well,
but anyway.
I'll tell you my own story. I used to listen to you guys all the time. I was in the heat and air business, riding around looking at heat and air systems in people's homes. And so cool. I always listened to WSB because
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed your show, and I had heard this advertised in the radio, the free heart scan, and for 2 or 3 years, I did what most people do, procrastinate.
Right.
And I kept telling my wife, I can't remember that company. They go over it every day, and I just couldn't remember it. Well, anyway, one day I was at a stoplight. I heard the ad come on. I carefully wrote the number down. I had some loose papers laying there in the seat next to me, and I wrote the number down. And I called my wife and I said, please call this company and schedule us. And so we did. We came in 2015. I probably started hearing about it in 2012. And it saved my life. This is fantastic. It's such a great thing for both you and your spouse.
Yes.
You and a boyfriend, a girlfriend, you and a friend, whoever. Just any couple can come in, get a heart and lung scan on both people for $60.
You told me that is a $3,000 value.
It's the $3,000 value. I mean, this is, I couldn't believe it when our owner, our senior manager called us and when we were halfway through this and said, we want to offer this.
I'm blown away. I know a good deal when I see it. I'm a bargain shopper. I'm cheap.
This is a no-brainer.
This is you better get those 10 digits going right now on the phone.
Exactly. And literally this could completely save your life. If you've had trouble breathing, if you're wheezing, if you have any chest pains, whatever the case might be, you have genetic.
If you're just curious.
Yeah, you're just curious. Like that's why I didn't really have anything. I didn't have any causes that made me believe that I needed this, but it saved my life. I was able to get on cardiac care back in 2017 with a cardiologist, and they put in 2 stents in 2023. And it literally saved my life.
Wow. Were you shocked, John, when you had because you were just curious, like you said.
I was.
You had your wife call, take us up on the promotion.
Yeah. And, the funny thing about it was my wife has had perfectly clean reports for the last 10 years. And you know how we compete, husband and wife.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but I'm okay.
Yeah. You're the one that's wrong.
Exactly. But, this is such a fantastic thing to get both the heart and the lung for $60. That's for you and another person. Get 2 people to come in, whatever 2 people you want to come in, and for $60.
You can't go out for dinner for 2 for $60.
Not anymore, you can't.
No.
You can't even go to McDonald's for that much.
No.
But anyway, this is a $3,000 value. It's normally $1,500 each. You got to call right now.
And that
we
number
have operators standing by.
Yes, 770-678-SCAN. That number again is 770-678-SCAN. Folks, please. I mean, when I first started going to virtual imaging, I didn't have necessarily anything wrong, but genetically, I joked with my parents when they were still living. I said, when I go to a doctor's office and I fill out forms, I check every box. Because it said, do you or a living parent have the following? And I'm like, yes. Because between my parents, they had everything. And so genetically, I've got to be on my toes.
I'm the same way. My grandfather and father. My grandfather had open heart surgery and had a pacemaker put in. My father had 3 stents put in. It definitely runs in our family. I was scared because I smoked a long time ago, back in the 60s and 70s.
I can
Everybody
see that.
smoked.
I can see you smoking, John.
Yeah. And the best thing I do, my wife convinced me to give it up many, many, many years ago. But you still wonder if there are any, after effects of that.
Sure.
So to get both your heart and your lung, and to be included in this scan for just $60, it's the best promotion I've ever seen.
I think
virtual imaging offer.
Yes, I mean,
I
by
would take
far,
advantage of it right now.
Absolutely. This is by far the best offer I think y'all have given since we've been doing this show.
I believe it is.
So, folks, there's only a limited amount of space for them to do these tests. So, they don't just have infinity amount of time. So please call them at 770-678-SCAN, 770-678-SCAN, and take them up on this. $60 heart and lung for 2 people, you and a loved one.
And by the way, Belinda, this is a state-of-the-art CT scanner.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 256 slice. You can't get a better scanner than this. It is extremely low radiation. It uses 1/5 the radiation of a normal scanner. So it's completely safe, and it is 97 to 99% accurate. So you can get that type of service for both you and a friend, a spouse, a sweetheart, whoever it may be, someone you care about, and do both your heart and both lungs for just $60. I would call right now. Don't put it off like I did for 3 years.
At the beginning of the show, I told the story about one of my best friends whose husband just passed away of a massive heart attack. And I just look at this promotion and how easy it is to get it and how inexpensive it is and how we could have saved his life.
Yeah.
I'm just sick at my stomach.
I know it. Hey, it's funny that you tell that story because Mr. Trucano, who just called in a little while ago to offer this scan, this promotion that we just we're talking about, he said, when people come in and they said, well, we just lost a friend, we just lost a brother or a sister or a parent,
right,
whatever the case may be, to a heart attack, he said, it really makes me sad.
Yeah.
And I said, why is that? He says, because we're here.
Yeah.
We could have prevented that. All they had to do was come in and get a scan. Mm-hmm. And they could have find out any indications of future heart problems and go ahead and take care of it. Get under cardiologist care where they're keeping an eye on you. And why not in this day and age? We're all so busy. We're running around doing a million things. Stress factors are high for everyone.
Oh, gosh.
You work and children and all the different things that you're trying to do and take care of. And here's something very simple. It will take you and your sweetheart less than an hour. The scans take about 5 to 7 minutes each, and you're off the machine. You get your report within 3 to 5 days.
Like John said, everybody is busy. Everybody is overworked. Everybody is stressed to the max. But like one of my best friend's husband, he had no symptoms.
Take time out for your health.
No one else is going to do it for you. Please call 770-678-SCAN. 770-678-SCAN. You and a loved one. $60 for a heart and lung scan. That's a $3,000 value. I mean, run, don't walk to this.
The operators are waiting right now to book the appointments.
This is the most important thing in you should be doing right now. That's what my dad used to say about when he wanted me to do something. This is the most important thing you should be doing right now.
Sounds like a great dad.
Yes, he was a great dad. All right. You're listening to the Weekly Checkup only on 95.5 WSB.
Are you with me, Dr. Wu? Are you really just a shadow?
And welcome back to the Weekly Checkup presented by Wellstar Health System. I'm Belinda Skelton. Our show is produced by Lens, Atlanta's healthcare marketing experts. And this week we're joined by our friends at Virtual Imaging. And in the studio I have John Rockwell, friend and patient advocate at Virtual Imaging. We hope you'll join the conversation by calling us in the studio at 404-872-0750. And John, we're getting some calls on this new promotion.
Of course.
People would be kind of silly if they didn't take us up on that.
You know, I'm glad, though, because they're so excited about it, the people that call in.
Well, it's going to, you know what, I guarantee you that we're saving lives with this promotion.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know patient confidentiality, but I'd love to know from this promotion how many real cases came out of this that really lives were saved.
Yeah. Well, and you know, we do have to keep the confidentiality and the HIPAA laws intact, but you know, we can give you just like I explained to you earlier, the lady that called in and she had been a member for 10 years, then she dropped the program,
Right.
Heard about this special, this heart and lung special for $60, but we always never did it for two people, so and they actually found lung cancer. It saved her life. It was very small, and she was able to go ahead and get treated for it.
Well, we have a caller on the line. Let's see if we can go to the phone lines and speak with, let's go to Ben in Florida. You're on WSB. How are you today?
Doing just fine. How are you, ma'am?
Good. What can we help you with, Ben?
My question is this just an Atlanta thing, or can you go out of region? I'm in Florida. I was just curious if it's available down here.
No, I don't. Well, they do have probably companies down there. Whereabouts in Florida are you?
I'm in Inglewood, Port Charlotte, on the west coast.
Okay.
Below-
There is a company
below Sarasota.
there is a company in Tampa that does something similar to this. I don't know that they'll have the promotion that we have, but do you ever drive up to Atlanta?
On occasion, yes, sir.
Yeah, you can go ahead and call in and get that special promotion that we've mentioned on the air, and they can schedule you for some time in the future. It doesn't have to be in the next week or so. It could be a month from now. We have people come in actually who signed up for one of our programs. They've moved since out of the area. They fly in from California, Texas,
Wow.
all over the place just because of the quality of the scanner that we have and the promotions that we give. So it'd probably be worth it to you.
Okay. I certainly appreciate it.
All
Well,
right,
thank you.
Ben. Stay warm down there in Florida. Share a little sunshine every now and then.
We love to.
All right, buddy. Take care. All right, bye-bye. It's 27 minutes after 4 o'clock. That number for the promotion is 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. You're listening to the Weekly Checkup only on 95.5 WSB.
If you wanna feel real nice, just dance around the
This is the last half hour of the Weekly Checkup, and I'm Belinda Skelton. Our show is presented by Wellstar Health System, the largest and most integrated healthcare system in Georgia, and sponsored by All Care, Family care plus immediate care equals all care. Now open in Brazelton. The Georgia Trauma Foundation, investing in trauma care to save lives. Olansky Dermatology and Aesthetics, offering the highest quality in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. Avant Gynecology, Atlanta's GYN and surgical specialist. Virtual imaging, screening for cancer and cardiovascular disease. We hope you'll join the conversation. We have 30 minutes left. If you're curious how screening works, why you should screen, how you should screen, when, how often, give us a call at 872-0750. That's 404-872-0750. So we're getting a lot of buzz from this promotion, John.
It's pretty exciting. Your friend from Tennessee called and wanted to be able to get in on the appointment.
Yes.
She's getting married, and she said, I'm going to get my husband
She
screened.
said, listen, I need to know what's going on before I say I do.
Right, and she had to leave a message. So a lot of people are calling in on this. If they're busy, of course, they're going to let you go to voicemail. You still will be able to qualify for this promotion. They will call you back tonight or first thing tomorrow.
Okay.
So don't worry. You'll still get in. Just leave a message on the phone, and you'll still get the heart and lung special for you and a significant other for just $60 total. That's it.
This is such an astronomically good
Value.
value. Listen, this is Larry. What's Larry's title?
He is
Head man, what's in charge?
Yeah, he's the senior director of virtual imaging.
He has lost his ever-loving mind on
He
this
might have.
promotion. Well, let's just let him lose it and take him up on it. A $60 value for you and a loved one. I mean, he's bitten by the love bug on this heart and lung on Valentine's weekend. And folks, $60 for you and a partner. This is a $3,000 value.
It really is, and I want to just tie this into the promotion we were mentioning earlier. We were talking about a core body scan for one person at $995, and then the second person would get it at $700 for a total of $1,695.
Right.
If you decide to come in on the heart and lung promotion, you can upgrade to that promotion if you want to after you've been through everything and seen how it works. There's other scans available as well. You can do it now or in the future. Many of our clients come back within a year or two to get other additional scans. They tell their friends, their family about it. And, of course, that's why we're doing this. Also, we want to make sure that everybody's okay. We want to,
I mean, you saved lives. And tell us about the different areas of the body that it screens and the cancers that it screens for and what can be found.
Well, it's good that you brought that up because, the problem with cancer, some cancers are what they call silent killers. You don't know about them. You're not going to have any symptoms until they're stage 3 or stage 4. Two of the most common that everyone talks about is pancreatic cancer. We talked about Steve Jobs earlier today.
Right.
And then bladder cancer. And there's others too as well. That you don't have any symptoms until, the horse is out of the barn, so to speak, until it's too late. Again, the reason why we do this, promote all the promotions that we do and all the scans that we do is simply to save lives, to help you control your health. It's funny, I was talking to a couple that signed up for one of our programs this week, and I asked them, I said, what's really, what's your why? Why are you doing this? And everybody has a why. It might be their husband or wife. It might be their children, their grandchildren. It could be parents, whatever it may be. And she said, you know what my why is? I want total control over my health.
Wow.
I don't want to put
Yeah.
my fate in the hands of an insurance company. because nothing makes me madder. And she had this actually happen to her where a doctor had recommended a screening test, a diagnostic test, and it was turned down by the insurance company because they didn't feel it was warranted with the symptoms that she had.
Drives me crazy.
And that's, that's what does you, that's how it works. We have a sick care system in
Yeah.
America. If you don't have the right symptoms, you don't check off the right boxes, whatever, you're not able to get the diagnostic testing that you may need desperately. So this allows you to have total control.
My why didn't take me 2 seconds to think about are my two kids, Will and Andrew.
Yeah.
23 and 21, they are the light of my life. They're the reason I put my feet on the floor every day. I don't know where or what I would be without them. And so I want to be in their life as long as I possibly can.
Of course you do. And I think everyone feels that way about their children. And I feel that way about my children and my grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
I have some lovely grandchildren. I enjoy my time with them so much. I just
I'm not
spoil.
old enough for grandchildren.
Well, I
John.
am. And I spoil the heck out of them. They want ice cream for dinner? Sure, no problem.
I'll
I
deal
don't
with
care.
your parents later.
That's right. It's not my job to raise them. I've already raised their parents, so now it's I get to be the good granddad.
Right.
But anyway, we all have loved ones that we care so much about, and we want to be there for them. We don't want to have that sudden heart attack. We don't want to have that, symptom, and you go to the doctor and they do some testing and they come in and say, "I'm sorry, but you have stage 3 or stage 4, whatever it might be." I've talked to people who have had that conversation. I had a good friend that I used to golf with all the time. I urged him to come into her office and get scanned.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Oh yeah, I will, and he was a retired sergeant major. If anybody out there had been in the Marine Corps,
It
they
sounds
know
very high up.
that's as high as you can get in the enlisted
Okay.
ranks. And spent 32 years in the Marine Corps. Did several tours in Vietnam, Desert Storm. He could tell stories and stories. Like most people that are professional soldiers, he really didn't like to talk about it too
Right.
much. But anyway, I had told him, about this, and he said, "Yeah, I need to do that." And he just procrastinated like I did, like so many of us have. And he put it off. 9 months later, 10 months later, he came to me with tears in his eyes. He said, "I just got diagnosed with stage 3 bladder cancer."
Oh, gosh.
He was gone in about 6 or 7 months.
Oh,
So it's just a tough thing. And, so come in, call in, get that heart and lung special for $60 for you and a significant other. Please do it now. Again, if it's busy or they don't answer the phone, just leave a message. They will return your call either today or tomorrow morning at some point. And you will still qualify for the promotion. Remember, we always have that free heart scan where you can come in and get a coronary artery scan, which will give you a complete detailed report on the arteries in your heart to see if there's any occlusion, which means clogging, any plaque can build up inside your, those arteries. And of course, we have a lot of other specialty scans available. One of the things we do when you come in is we spend, about 30 minutes and go over some of these other things that are available to you. And many people take advantage of those either now or in the future. So
you can't judge a book by its cover looking at someone. Because I've looked at people that are overweight and their cholesterol is fine.
yeah, that's not fair, is it?
And then I've looked at some very thin people and they have very high cholesterol.
Yep.
So their risk is higher. So you don't know what is going on. It's genetics. It's the way they live their life. You just don't
It's a
know.
variety of things. Sometimes I think it's just the luck of the draw, and We see it every day because one of the things we ask you to do is fill out a little medical questionnaire. And have you had this? Have you had that? Da, 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 what medicines you might be on, and there should be certain areas that you're most concerned about of your body. And we talk to you about that and how you can take care of that with whatever scan may be that would cover that. And I see it all the time. I see people who run every day and they have heart problems, or they're, like you said, slender and they have high cholesterol. You just never know. People who have never smoked, never been around smoking. That's that lady I talked about earlier and wrote that. You can see that review if you go to virtualimagingatl.com. You can see many, many reviews of the company. And we have the highest rating possible, and you'll see people who wrote letters in, and almost everyone says, it saved my life.
You know, like I said last hour, I told my husband after the last show, I don't care what our income is. I will always have a membership at Virtual Imaging, because if we don't have our health, we have nothing. And if we can catch a problem in its earliest phase, stage, whatever, then we're winners.
Exactly. I told you my story. I started in 2015 with Virtual Imaging as a member. I had my 5th scan in 2023. Due to the results of that scan, I went to my cardiologist, and I ended up getting 2 stents. It literally saved my life.
We're going to save some lives today with this heart and lung promotion for 2 for you and a loved one or partner. $60. That's for 2. Heart and lung. Call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. You're listening to the Weekly Checkup only on 95.5 WSB. And we're wrapping up another edition of the Weekly Checkup. Gosh, it goes by so fast. Presented by Wellstar Health System. Thanks to our friends at Virtual Imaging for joining us, especially John Rockwell for sitting in with me in the studio. Thank you so much, John.
Oh, you're welcome, Belinda, and you make it so easy and so much fun. But thank you.
Thank you. Why don't you stop at the gas station on the way home?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get some gas because I'm running low.
I'm notorious for that. I'm Belinda Skelton. Thank you so much for listening for the last 2 hours. And remember, folks, heart and lung scan for you and a loved one, partner for $60 total. That's a $3,000 value if you call 770-678-SCAN.
This day only, Belinda.
Yes, this day. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
Finito after this day.
Right.
770-678-SCAN. Okay, so this is so vitally important that folks get scanned. And it's really home to you, John.
It does hit home to me because, medical conditions affect not just the person who's suffering, but it affects everyone in their hemisphere.
Yeah.
Their family, children, grandchildren, everyone. And we like to prevent those things. So please call in right now for your $60 promo. The heart and heart disease is the #1 killer still in America, and lung cancer is the biggest of all the cancers. And we do have programs available where you can do complete scans either now or in the future. We'll tell you about them. But as I said, my first wife, I lost to breast cancer and left me with a daughter who was 12-year-old and a son who was 9.5. We have mammograms now.
Yeah.
And the reason we have mammograms is because Congress made it mandatory that all insurance companies had to supply them as part of their insurance. My wife was only 37, 38 when she died. Back then, it was only women 50 and over that got the scans. Today, it is 35 and over. And, people ask me all the time, man, I wish they'd find a cure for cancer. Well, there is a cure for cancer. and it's regular scanning. It's learning about it before it becomes stage 3, stage 2, stage 4, whatever it may be. If you learn about it early, you can beat it. 95% of the time, a very high percent of the time, there's a tremendous success rate when you find these things early. And the same is true with heart disease.
Right.
You know, if you can find that early, again, you can beat it. So please call in, and thank you for your time today, Belinda. I appreciate it. We love you and WSB so much. Thank you.
We love virtual imaging, and I want you to call them at 770-678-SCAN, 770-678-SCAN for that heart and lung for $60. Thank you so much. You're listening to the Weekly Checkup only on 95.5 WSB.